Ashley here. Today I am going to be doing a quick little yoga sequence focusing on shoulders and hips. This is specifically geared towards paddlers, kayakers, rowers. However, we can all benefit from it because so many of us experience tightness and discomfort in both hips and shoulders. So we're going to be starting out in a seated position today. If you have a block, you can prop yourself up on it. If this is a bit uncomfortable, you can always come to your knees. Whatever feels good, just get comfortable. And just take a quick couple of moments to just connect with your breath. So big inhale in all the way, and then opening your mouth to sigh it out. And just do that a couple of times. Great, and we're just going to get right into it. So bringing your hands together in front of you, interlace your fingers, bring your elbows together if you can. If you can't, that's okay. And you're just going to make circles around the wrists in both directions. Good. A couple of times both ways. Bring your elbows apart, keeping the hands interlaced, and we're just going to make some waves. Boom. And then in the other direction. Great. And just go ahead and expand your arms. You're going to just, with the thumbs pointing out, you're going to inhale, start to flip the palms up as far as they go, and then bring them back the other way. Just back and forth a couple of times. Feeling this in the forearms, the triceps, and just kind of notice where you're feeling this all. Long through the crown of the head. Good. Take a big inhale, and then on your exhale, start to bring one elbow underneath the other. Either interlacing the fingers or placing the palms into each other if that's available. If not, that's okay. You could be right here. It's something to work towards. And we're just going to make some circles around the elbows. Perfect. And then the other direction. Good. From here, start to lift your elbows up and then pull your hands away from your face. So think about trying to pull the elbows in towards each other to really get a stretch across the back in between the shoulder blades. Try to relax your shoulder heads down. And don't forget to breathe. Take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, release that. And bring the opposite elbow on top. And we'll do that on the other side. So starting out with those circles. And then the other direction. Then lift the elbows up. Pull the hands away from your face so you're getting an awesome stretch in the shoulder blades. While maintaining a nice big breath. Good. So release that down. Just plant your hands down onto your knees. And you're just going to tuck your chin and roll your ear over to a shoulder. Now try to relax the opposite shoulder down. And I know you don't have lungs in your neck, but breathe into it like you do. And you'll find that will intensify this stretch. Couple more. And then we'll go to the other side. And just notice how the different sides feel. Big breath. From here, bringing one hand down beside your hip. So I'm starting out with my right side here. You're going to take your left hand or the opposite hand, and you're going to circle up overhead. And then you're going to lean towards the grounded hand. Now lean as far as you can go without the lifted arms, butt cheek lifting up off the mat. And then once you get as far as you can go, plug your shoulder blade down. Looking up at the arm, feeling that side stretch. You're also probably getting a stretch in between the rib cage. Deep breath in, exhale, bring it down, opposite. So bringing that hand out in front, sweeping it up overhead, and then into the opposite side. Grounding the lifted hands, butt cheek down into the mat. Good. From here, we're going to bring that down. If you have some wall space available, grab it. If not, don't worry about it. You can do this seated. You're going to bring your hands up to a 90-degree angle, and then you're just going to sweep the hands up till they can touch, and then bring them down, squeezing the shoulder blades together down at the back. So this could be really challenging if you have tight shoulders. Take about 3 or 4 of those. If you have really tight shoulders, see if you can eke out a couple of more. Good. And if you do not have a wall that you're working with, slow and steady, and trying to keep your hands and arms in line with your ears as you do this. Awesome. Okay, come back to the mat if you're on the wall. We're going to start getting into some hips here. So bring the hands back behind you. And I'm going to take this from the side view for you. So my hands are back behind me. I'm going to open my feet as wide as mat distance. So if you're not doing this on a mat, you just want your feet to be wider than hip distance right here. And you're just going to let this shape fall to the right. And hopefully you're creating 90-degree angles throughout your body here. So from your shin to your thigh is a 90-degree angle, from your thigh to your other thigh is a 90-degree angle, and then from your shin to your thigh on the other leg is a 90-degree angle. So once we're here, we're going to start with, I'm on my right side, pulsing this knee up just a few times. Good. And then the other knee, just a couple of times. And then from here, you're just going to take the shape of your legs and transfer it to the other side. So you have that 90-degree angle on the opposite leg. Starting with the pulse, just 3 times. And then the other pulse. Good. And then from here, we're going to take this for a walk. So you can either keep your hands right behind you for support, or if you'd like to try, you can lift your hands up and take this side to side. So I'm going to do this for a front view for you as well. So that 90 degrees, and that's just a whoop. So the only thing that's moving, you're lifting your knees and your heels, but this action is coming from your hips. Good. Once you get that a few passes, I'm just going to bring our feet in to about hip distance apart. Bring your right ankle across your left knee for a nice little seated pigeon here. We're just going to rock this back and forth. Just keeping it mobile, allowing the synovial fluid of the joints to just kind of loop everything up. Switch that up to the other side. Keep that chest lifted, just back and forth. Good. You're going to come to tabletop position and just take a couple of cat-cows here. So inhaling, the belly's going to drop, you're going to gaze up at the ceiling. Exhale, you're going to round out. And maybe just some hip circles if that feels good. And then bring your hands a little further out in front of you. And start to point the fingers back behind to your knees and just lean back on them a little bit. And then bring the fingers out to either side and shift. Fingers back in front, go forward on them. And just do that a couple times. So fingers pointing back at you, sink back into your hips. Fingers pointing away from you, shift side to side. Fingers pointing ahead, pressing forward. Awesome. Then bring the hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, right arm up to the ceiling, circles around the wrist, both directions. Take a big reach up. Exhale, just thread the needle, resting the ear onto the mat. Breathing into the back body. Good. Bring that up. Zed it back down. And then on the other side, lift the arm, circles around the wrists, both directions. Big inhale, and then the exhale, sends it under your body. Keeping that palm face up or face down, whatever feels right. Slowly bring that up. Just back to tabletop position. We're going to do some hip circles here. So you're going to lift up your leg. You're going to flex your foot. Then you're just going to bring the elbow up to the knee. Circle down, back, and around. We'll do 3 passes one way. And then take it in the opposite direction. Good. And then to the other side. It's making me shaky today. Inhale the leg up, foot flexes, up to the wrist, down, and back behind. 3 times. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Take it in the opposite. Good. Rolling over onto your butt, we're going to take a double pigeon. This is a fairly intense one, all levels available to it. So you're going to straighten the legs, and you're going to take one of your ankles and place it on the opposite knee, and then you are going to take the other foot and stack it under the other knee. So I'm a pretty unflexible yogi, which just seems kind of like an opposition, but it is what it is. So I'm getting a pretty good stretch right here. If you are more flexible than this, go ahead and start to hinge at your hips and walk the hands out in front of you. Keep your feet flexed to stabilize your knees, and don't forget to breathe. This can be an intense move if you are not very flexible in the hips, and it's important to breathe through it. As you can see, I'm breaking a sweat here right now. Bring that up. We're going to switch it to the opposite side. So, stacking the opposite ankle onto the opposite knee, and then bringing the other ankle underneath the knee. Keeping the feet flexed, and keep in mind, this side might feel different. It might be a little more open because you do get a stretch in both hips, even though it's a little more intense on one side than the other. And then just start to take it to your level. So perhaps walking the hands out, perhaps just sitting here and trying to lean into the discomfort. But the breath will help get you through it. All right, take that out. Got one last thing to do here. We are going to come onto our bellies. We're going to bring an arm out. And then on the opposite side, that hand is just going to plant down onto the mat. Elbow is going to be bent. You're going to start to bend the opposite knee and kick it over till it touches the floor. Really planting down into that arm you can't see. So if this is a bit intense for you, you're just going to bend your knees and stack them on top of one another. If you want more intensity, you're going to push this knee away from you. Slowly bring that back. Take it to the other side. Extend the other arm. Stack the elbow. Kick the leg over. Rest your ear. And just enjoy the stretch. Bring it down. Press up to an easy cross-legged position. Take a big inhale in. Bring it in. Hopefully you notice a little bit more mobility, feeling a bit nice. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.